Samboi to present floral greetings to our team and welcome.
विनोद विनोद क्या कर रही है?
BIMTECH. Of the goddess of light and learning. May I request
पीछे पूरा बैठ के
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप जो मांगे ठाकुर अपने ते सोई सोई देवै नानक दास मुख ते जो बोले इहा उहा सच होवे जो मांगे ठाकुर अपने ते सोई सोई देवे चतुर दिशा कीनो बल अपना सिर ऊपर कर तार्यो कृपा कटाख अवलोकन कीनो दास का दुख बिदार्यो जो मांगे ठाकुर अपने ते सोई सोई देवे जन राखे गुरु गोबिंद, राखे गुरु गोबिंद। कंठ लाए अब गुण सब मेटे, दयाल पुरख बख्शंद। जो मांगे ठाकुर अपने ते, सोई सोई देवे। नानक दास मुख ते जो बोले, इहाँ उहाँ सच होवे। जो मांगे ठाकुर अपने ते, सोई सोई देवे।
Psalms 91 verses 1 to 11. He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty, will say to the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by the day. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only observe with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. If you make the Most High your dwelling, even the Lord who is my refuge, then no harm will befall you. No disaster will come near your tent, for He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. Amen.
Request Sri Vikas Kandui, Member, Board of Governors, BIMTECH, to please deliver the welcome address.
Distinguished Chief Guest of today's function, Sri Yashwant Sinha, former Finance Minister, Government of India, and currently the Chairman, Parliamentary Standing Committee on Finance. A distinguished member of the BIMTECH Governing Board, Dr. Ajit Ranade, Director, Dr. Harivansh Chaturvedi, Dr. Anupam Verma, Professor Sahai, Professor Arora, faculty, students, distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. I deem it a great privilege extending you all a very warm welcome to the 25th Convocation function of the Birla Institute of Management Technology. The Convocation Day is a great event in the life of the passing out scholars, parents and guardians, faculty, and all stakeholders of an institution. It is a day of hopes, fulfillment, and plans for the future. On such an occasion, the chief guest who delivers the convocation address adorns the mantle of a mentor who can guide, enlighten, and mold the outlook of the young hopefuls stepping out of the portals of the institute. In this context, and especially in the background of prevailing economic crisis situation, we are indeed exceptionally fortunate to have with us Sri Yashwant Sinha as our chief guest to deliver the 25th Convocation address. Sri Sinha is a very distinguished civilian who has adorned crucial positions in the center and state in his illustrious career as a civil servant and also later as a central minister in charge of important portfolios such as finance and external affairs. Sir, this institute, which was born in 1988, was formed with the objective of providing cutting-edge learning in management sciences while being firmly anchored in the bedrock of India's traditional values. Hence the leitmotif of BIMTECH, excellence with values. Fueled by the scholastic abilities of its students and the total dedication of its faculty, BIMTECH, I am happy to submit, has been making steady progress over the years. In its 25 years of existence, about 4,400 of its alumni have been contributing to the progress of corporates, both in the private and public sector, as well as non-governmental organizations, both in India and abroad. This is also the day every year that we reaffirm our faith in the vision of the founders of BIMTECH, Shriyuk B.K. Birlaji and Srimati Sarla Birlaji, who dreamt of BIMTECH evolving into a center of academic excellence devoted to the service of society. Sir, you exemplify the path of selfless service to the larger cause of financial rectitude and upright business conduct, and through this to making India's democratic foundation strong and unassailable. May I add that there can be no better role model than you for a young person at the start of his or her career. As their true preceptor, they can learn much from you and be inspired by you. I am extremely thankful to you, sir, for finding time to be with aspiring young managers this evening and chart the right path for them. May I once again very warmly welcome you to the 25th convocation of the Birla Institute of Management Technology. Thank you once again.
I request Dr. Ajit Ranade, Member Board of Governors BIMTECH, to declare the annual convocation 2013 open.
I declare the convocation 2013 open.
In our Silver Jubilee year, we at BIMTECH attempted to scale new heights and reach new milestones. To present the kaleidoscope of BIMTECH's events and achievements for the academic year 2012-13, I would request our Director, Dr. Chaturvedi, to please present BIMTECH's annual progress report.
Respected Sriyut Yashwant Sinha ji, Chief Guest of today's function, Shri Vikas Kandoi, Dr. Ajit Ranade, Members Board of Governors, assembled guests, parents, faculty and students. On this happy occasion, let me first of all extend my heartiest compliments to over 365 students from the 2013 passing out batches of PGDM, PGDM IB, PGDM IBM, PGDM RM and PGDM SDP. From today onwards, they will be part of our global alumni community and we shall take pride in their future achievements. Friends, BIMTECH has completed 25 glorious years of its academic life. Our journey has been quite an eventful one. Since inception, what has been motivating us is our unchanging credo of excellence with values, which is consistent with our being part of the B.K. Birla group of institutions. The Silver Jubilee celebrations at BIMTECH were formally launched on 2nd October 2012. On this occasion, we invited the renowned researcher and the Nobel laureate Dr. R.K. Pachauri, Chairman of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC. As the 25th year progressed, several momentous events were organized to commemorate the BIMTECH tradition and values. I reported last year that the Birla Academy of Art and Culture is setting up the Birla Global University in Bhubaneswar at the invitation of the Government of Odisha. The first batch of postgraduate diploma in management has already begun with a highly diversified student community from 11 states of India. We have also launched two programs, BBA and MJMC, at the undergraduate and master's level. The new campus of BIMTECH, with its world-class infrastructure and faculty community, is set to be a real global experience for all. You may be aware that in the year 2010, our Board of Governors, GMGA, to institute an award for honoring global thought leadership in the world of management. The Harvard Business School professor and one of the most influential management thinkers, Dr. Robert S. Kaplan, was conferred the second Global Management Guru Award after a very stringent and elaborate selection procedure on November 9, 2012 at a glittering function held in New Delhi. The jury of GMGA was headed by Dr. Pritam Singh, The top 5 among the contenders for GMGA were Robert Kaplan, Philip Kotler, Kellogg Graduate School of Management, Michael Porter, Harvard Business School, Clayton Christensen, Harvard Business School, and Vijay Govindarajan, Tuck School of Business. Going on forward, BIMTECH in association with the National HRD Network and our eminent knowledge partner Ian Hewitt offers a platform in the shape of HR roundtables in order to bring over some of the top thought leaders in the country for sharing with the business world their best practices and experiments. 9 out of 12 HR roundtables have been held under this series, which capture and present in brief very rich experiences, successful and tested practices, learnings and brilliant insights of great business and HR leaders from varied sectors in business and the academics in the country. Some of the eminent panelists in the roundtables have comprised of Mr. S.Y. Siddiqui, COO Maruti Suzuki India Limited, Dr. Devi Singh, Director IIM Lucknow, Dr. Santrapt Misra, Group HR Head and Aditya Birla Group, Mr. Vijay Sahu, President HR Reliance Retail, Ms. Leena Nair, Executive Director HR Hindustan Unilever Limited, Mr. Yogi Sriram, Senior Vice President Corporate HR L&T, and Mr. Adil Malia, Group President HR SR Group, and Mr. Prakash Iyer, CEO Kimberly Clark Lever Limited. In line with BIMTECH's vision and mission, the Center for Research is engaged in knowledge creation and dissemination. This year, BIMTECH has introduced Fellow Program in Management and Executive Fellow Program in Management, both approved by AICTE, with an objective to groom talented young researchers to be transformed into innovative thinkers and real-world solution providers. Last year, the Center for Research had initiated several proposals for submission to the AICTE. 3 faculty members have received research grants from the AICTE under various schemes. In consonance with BIMTECH's idea of inclusive and continuing education, BIMTECH and Federation of Indian Export Organization FIEO jointly conducted a new 6-month diploma course in foreign trade. It was a resounding success and has led to its second batch with 40 students recently. BIMTECH has also partnered with ISB Hyderabad to train women entrepreneurs in Uttar Pradesh and Odisha under the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Women Entrepreneurs Global Project. This project has been started in 22 countries of the world. The training was funded for the selected women entrepreneurs by Goldman Sachs. In India, 1,500 women entrepreneurs from different areas have already benefited from the program, and BIMTECH has been responsible for training 210 women entrepreneurs in Greater Noida, Agra, and Bhubaneswar. In the year 2012-13, under the Center for Management Development in BIMTECH, we delivered 70 MDPs and 5 executive development programs for various public sector undertakings like NTPC, DVC, and also private sector companies like Tata Power. The center has also conducted a consultancy and mentoring project on quality circle for REC and Ultratech Cement for 160 middle-level executives. BIMTECH is one of the few business schools of India which started the student exchange program as an integral part of the education and exposure. During the year, BIMTECH has signed MOU with various universities like Santa Clara University USA, Missouri State University USA, Singapore Management University Singapore, La Rochelle B School France, IESEG France, Institute of Financial Management Tanzania, and MUA Africa. BIMTECH and FH Joanneum University of Applied Sciences Austria with 6 other partners from 5 countries received a grant on the project idea submitted to the European Commission. The unique project aims to promote European initiatives to partner universities outside Europe with the main aim to provide common grounds for academic cooperation. Dr. Dhruv Chak and 4 students visited Washington, D.C. for the Cyber International Consulting Project in consultation in collaboration with R.H. Smith School of Business, University of Maryland, USA. The project involves widening the scope of Jayashree Tea and Industry Limited, a BK Birla Group company, and strengthening its sales of packaged tea. Smith School students will visit India for a fortnight in January 2014, and the final presentation will be made before the client in Kolkata. BIMTECH Student Exchange Program is one of the most vibrant and exciting facets of student community life, which adds an international flavor to the educational experience. The trimester we received 34 students in September 2013 under the exchange program from Roma Business School, La Rochelle, Euromed, and BEM France, Kozmiński University, Poland. 42 students from BIMTECH Greater Noida and 1 student from BIMTECH Bhubaneswar will be going under the student exchange program to Austria, Finland, France, Poland, Germany, and South Africa. With the guidance from the Center for International Affairs, Kaisar Ahmad, PGDM 2011-13, received the Ernst Mac grant from Austrian Ministry of Science and Research to study 2 terms at FH Joanneum University of Applied Sciences, Austria. The Division of Technology, Industry and Economics, International Environmental Technology Center of UNEP has identified BIMTECH as a competent institution for undertaking a project on conversion of waste agricultural biomass to energy. The project is being executed under the guidance of Professor K.R. Chari, supported by a team of students of the institute. To promote the idea of social business in a big way in India, Grameen Creative Lab has forged an alliance with the Center for Social Innovation at BIMTECH for a 2-phase project. The project is being led by Professor Snehanand Ravi Sinha. The project has potential to bring out some seminal changes in the manner and growth of social business enterprises in India. BIMTECH, in line with its continuous CSR activity and especially the one done at District Jail Ghaziabad, has started receiving many requests for library establishment. Among the requests received was for the creation of a jail library in Lucknow. The inauguration of the BIMTECH Pustakalaya in the Lucknow jail was done by Mr. R.P. Singh, IG Prison, Uttar Pradesh. It is a matter of pride that this year also BIMTECH has figured in the top rankings. Here I would like to stress upon the fact that our position has been consistent in all the media rankings over the past many years. I am delighted to share with you that our institute has been ranked 7th among all private B schools under the CNBC TV18 A list of B schools. Result of this ranking were also telecast in CNBC IBN 7 and CNBC Awaz. This year BIMTECH has been ranked 9th among the private B school in Business Today survey and also in MBA Universe ranking. The institute has been ranked 7th among private B schools and 17th among all combined list of public and private B schools in the National HRD Network and People Matters B School ranking of 2013. The 14th Business Today MDRA Best Business School Survey 2013 has been released very recently, and it has ranked BIMTECH at the 9th position out of the private B schools of the country. This year we have been ranked 21st all India government plus private among the list of 200 B schools of India. I must mention that team of academic and administrative staff at BIMTECH is a great team, and we have achieved all these laurels due to this great teamwork. Of course, we have always been supported by our management and our board of governors. The speed of action and efficient delivery are our hallmark. I would like to congratulate our students, faculty, and staff for their collective endeavors and the leadership of the board for the present position of BIMTECH. Finally, this brief report presents the results and progress achieved by the institute during the preceding year. The institute stands at an interesting juncture as we march to the next level in the league of the great institutions of our country. As we celebrate with pride, it is time for us to introspect, to strengthen, and to plan for the future. The key to success in today's competitive and dynamic world is continuous evolution. Every institution today needs to gear up to move higher, forward and faster by utilizing its strengths, minimizing its weaknesses and building and sustaining the momentum. We will continue to build on this solid foundation to raise our achievements in the coming years. I am in need of your encouragement, support and blessings in making this a truly global business school, living up to its credo, excellence with values. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It is a matter of honor and pleasure that we have amidst us today Dr. Ajit Ranade. May I now request Dr. Ajit Ranade to kindly address our diploma recipients.
Thank you, thank you. Our chief guest, Sri Yashwant Sinha ji, member of the board, Sri Vikas Kandoi, Dr. Chaturvedi, Professor Sahai, Professor Arora, Professor Verma, faculty and staff of the Institute, BIMTECH, friends and relatives of students, other students, members of the media, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2013. Good evening to all of you. Namaskar. I'm just going to speak for a few minutes. I just want to share some thoughts, but we have a very distinguished chief guest today, very, very appropriate in these turbulent times. You may not know that during his tenure as finance minister, Sri Yashwant Sinha ji actually undertook some what I call radical reform, including the most important radical step he took was to shift the timing of the budget from evening 5 p.m. from the colonial times to 11 a.m. in the morning. So you will hear from our chief guest. So I thought I'd just say a few words. Really speaking, we are here to celebrate you. It's your day. It's a great day. It's solemn. It is solemn, but it is also a celebration. So please enjoy. This is going to be a memorable day, and especially because this is the 25th convocation. So you are a special batch. You are the Silver Jubilee batch. So congratulations to all of you. You know, these are very turbulent times. I mean, you sometimes get very pessimistic view and sometimes optimistic view, and sometimes both at the same time. So it's very difficult to really figure out what's the true, what is the true picture. So I would like to remind you that this great institution, you heard from Dr. Chaturvedi just now, the great progress that BIMTECH has made. It's gone from strength to strength, and it's not to be measured only in terms of its ranking or in terms of its publications or in terms of its collaborations, its joint ventures, its global outreach, but really in terms of you. I mean, a tree grows, but a tree is known by its fruit. And you are the fruit that now is going out into the world. You're getting today, you're becoming a certified, a certified national resource. You're always a national resource, but today you're going to be let loose in this world or in India. And it's the fruit that is going to be a sample for what the institution stands for. So I think the most important thing is that when you go out into this world and when you are facing all this turbulence of this uncertainty, what will help you is a little simple thing in your pocket which you're going to carry, I think, from this institution. This is the little instrument in your pocket which we call the compass. You know, when they say when you're lost, when you're when you're lost and direction, you're trying to look for direction, people take out from their pocket. Nowadays, of course, you guys carry mobile phones and it has GPS and Google Maps. But there's something called a compass, and that compass needle always points to the true north. So if you're looking for northern direction, and if even the sky is cloudy, the compass always tells you the true north. And really, the education that you get, not just perhaps at this management MBA level, but also for your prior education, it's all a culmination which is building this compass inside you, and that is what makes you more and more sure in life. So please remember that as you go out, you of course are going to carry all the wonderful memories, all the wonderful skills and education that you got, your knowledge and your confidence that you built, but what is probably going to be with you for a long time and always with you is this compass which comes from this education, very holistic education. Dr. Chaturvedi mentioned how BIMTECH education also involves outreach and going out to the jail in Ghaziabad. So please remember that this is the most precious thing that you will carry. And you now please remind yourself once in a while that you now represent perhaps the top 0.01% of the country. And I'm not just talking about in terms of ranking, the number of students who are so privileged to be in this position of having reached this sort of pinnacle in their education. And your journey is just beginning actually. So please remember that, but therefore you are automatically, I won't say please congratulations and go out and succeed, because you're already succeeding. Success is going to be guaranteed. But what you must carry with you and remember is about this compass, that it's going to be with you, that is going to guide you. This compass that you gained from this education from BIMTECH. In the introductory comments was mentioned that 2013 is a special year. We said it was 100 years of Tagore's Nobel Prize and so on. 2013 also happens to be the 150th birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda. You know, he was one of the first, perhaps, ambassador of the East who went to the West, and he came onto the world stage in 1893 in a speech that he gave in Chicago. And of course, subsequently, we now know him as a great patriot saint. But he said one thing which I think may be relevant to our lives. There's many things that he said which are relevant to our lives. But he said, "Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached." So this is a message. You know, you're graduating in 2013 in his birth anniversary year, 150th birth anniversary. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. And this goal is an everlasting journey. This every achievement will open up new vistas of new achievements, new sights. New heights to climb. So of course, I could talk about the economic scenario that nobody can deny that we are at somewhat of a low point in our economic journey as a nation, and of course, I think given the demography of the country, we are confident that we are going to go only upwards. But when will that begin? How vigorous will it be? How rapid we will rise up? Will all depend on the many circumstances. But I want to just conclude, because I think we will hear about a lot from our chief guest. But I just want to conclude by this message, which was actually delivered at another convocation ceremony. This was by a gentleman called Steve Jobs. When he gave this speech, he concluded by these words, which I'd like to remind you, but slightly in a different context. He said, "Stay hungry, stay foolish." Here, please let's repeat that, but in a slightly different way. Stay hungry, meaning stay hungry for success, but stay hungry for going even higher and higher. Stay hungry for succeeding in a righteous way. Stay hungry for success with grounded in values. And stay foolish, stay foolish under the impression that the impossible is achievable. Stay foolish with the impression that you can do honesty and integrity and still be super successful. So I'll just in fact remind you that message and conclude. Stay hungry and stay foolish. Congratulations to all of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the chief guest for our convocation of 2013 is a man who, in the course of an eventful political career, has held two of the most visible and coveted ministerial positions, that of Finance Minister and External Affairs Minister. For sheer breadth of experience, few in the political establishment can match Shri Yashwant Sinha. He held several important posts during his service tenure, a substantial part of which was spent in finance and commerce departments. Shri Sinha left the Indian Administrative Services and joined active politics in 1984. He was elected to the Rajya Sabha in 1988. Subsequently, he became the Finance Minister of India and held that post from November 1990 to June 1991. Shri Yashwant Sinha was elected to the Lok Sabha in 1998 and once again became the Finance Minister of India in March 1998. He continued in that position until July 2002. He was finance minister during a tumultuous period in the world economy as well as in the Indian economy. Shri Sinha was the first Indian to be elected chairman of Development Committee of the World Bank and the IMF in August 2000 and facilitated intergovernmental consensus building on development issues. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as I now invite Shri Yashwant Sinha to deliver the convocation address.
Thank you very much. Sri Vikash Kandoe, member of the Board of Governors of BIMTECH, Dr. Ajit Ranade, another member of the Board of Governors, Shri Chaturvedi, Director of the Institute, faculty, students, ladies and gentlemen. Don't believe a word of what has been said about me just now. I was sitting here and wondering that I must perhaps be the most illiterate of all those who are sitting on this stage. And the worst thing is when you sit down and listen to your own introduction, it sounds very much like an obituary. And I have always wondered what is the difference between an introduction of this kind and an obituary. Perhaps very little. But let me congratulate all of you who are passing out today. This, as Dr. Ranade said, is perhaps the most important day of your life. And I emphasize the word day because evening is yet to come. No, the joke went over. I was asked to talk this evening on the current economic situation and the future prospects. Unfortunately, I don't have a written speech. I said I was illiterate, so I couldn't put together a speech. I hope after I am done, there will be perhaps a written text for whatever it is worth. I was looking at the figures of growth rates from 1951-52 when we started the planning process in this country. And I counted that there have been in this 63-year journey only 18 years where we have achieved a growth rate, annual growth rate of more than 7%. And 10 out of these 18 years have been in the post-reform era, 91, 92 and thereafter. Now this tells its own story. But why was Dr. Ranade referring to the fact that we are facing a critical situation in our economy today? Because we have not been able to sustain the longest period of over 7% growth rate recorded in our economic history. We have had 1 year where we have grown at more than 7%. Then the next year we collapsed. This year, starting 2003-04, was the longest spell of over 7% growth rate, except for 1 year when we came down to 6.5%. But where does the disappointment flow from? The disappointment flows from the fact that after having achieved a near 10% growth rate, we are down to half that figure. And the year 2012-13 recorded a growth rate of only 5%. And there are experts, commentators who predict that we are in for a number of years where the growth rate will perhaps be below 5%, sub 5%. That is where the problem is. Now, if you look at the last few years, let's say a decade, I'd like to take you back to the first economic survey which was presented to Parliament by the Finance Minister of the UPA 1 government. And what did he say about the economy? He said, and I quote, "The economy appears to be in a resilient mode in terms of growth, inflation, balance of payments, a combination that offers large scope for consolidation of the growth momentum with continued macroeconomic stability." This is what was said in July of 2004 when the first economic survey was presented by the UPA government. And I would now like to quote from the Prime Minister's speech of September 21, 2012. And it's important for you to understand this because this is the world you are going into. The Prime Minister said he was explaining why the government had to raise the prices of petroleum products. It was a famous speech in which he said, and I quote, "Money does not grow on trees." You'll all remember this speech for this particular sentence where he said, "Money does not grow on trees." Then he went on to add, if we had not acted, it would have meant a higher fiscal deficit, that is, an unsustainable increase in government expenditure vis-a-vis government income. If unchecked, this would lead to a steep rise in prices and a loss of confidence in our economy. The prices of essential commodities would rise faster. Both domestic as well as foreign investors would be reluctant to invest in our economy. Interest rates would rise. Our companies would not be able to borrow abroad. Unemployment would increase. Then he added this chilling sentence, "The last time we faced this problem was in 1991. Nobody was willing to lend us even small amounts of money then." I should know, because you just heard that I was the unfortunate finance minister for about 6-8 months during that period. Now, as I have told you, from 2003-04 until 2007-08, we coasted along beautifully, strongly, without a care in the world. And we all believed that this is going to stay, that we'll have high growth rates year after year, that this will open up all kinds of opportunities for us within and outside the country, and most importantly, it would provide gainful employment to our unemployed millions. But unfortunately, things have not gone exactly that way. And the discussion which must take place in detail, in depth, is a discussion about the reasons why this has happened. Is this, Dr. Ranade, the normal capitalist cycle of high growth and low growth? Is this something which was inevitable? Or is this something which was avoidable? The explanation which has been offered by the government of the day is that there was a global financial crisis, subprime crisis in the US in 2008, and we had to take some energetic steps to meet this global situation, and therefore we took those steps, overcame the global cycle, the global crisis, and as I've mentioned to you just now, our growth rate did come down from something like 9.7% to 6.5% in 2008-9, only to go up again to 8.6% the next year and 8.8% the year after that. And when this was happening in our economy, we were lulled into believing that we had not only overcome the global financial crisis. Why did this happen? To me, the reasons are not far to seek. You can have investment-led growth, you can have consumption-led growth, or you can have a combination of both, and obviously a combination of both is the best. Now, in the earlier years, when you recorded and sustained this growth rate of over 7% for over 5 years, it was investment-led growth with consumption coming as a byproduct of investment. In the years after 2008-9 or from 2008-9, we replaced this by a purely consumption-led growth. And a consumption-led growth, as we all know, will not sustain itself. So we had 2 years of high growth again, but then it has collapsed and collapsed badly. The point I'm making is that the seeds of the present crisis that we are experiencing in our economy were sown while we were tackling the earlier crisis. And there were many who pointed out, even globally, that things may not turn out to be as well as we were expecting. When we were in office, we had passed an Act of Parliament which was called the Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act. It set targets for 5 years. I see Mr. Chaubey is smiling because he was part of the team which was doing it. In 5 years, we were supposed to completely eliminate the revenue deficit of the government's budget and bring the fiscal deficit down to about 2%, which we considered was sustainable, because this 2% of the deficit would have gone for investment and not for consumption. We are back after 2008-9 to the bad old days of running high fiscal deficits. And what is even more shocking is that a large part of this fiscal deficit is revenue deficit. And anyone who is familiar with the accounting procedures of the government knows that revenue deficit is largely consumption expenditure. So we are back to the bad old days because we are borrowing in order to sustain consumption. We are not borrowing in order to make productive investment. And this, please remember, this is a lesson for all of you in future because you are going to manage companies, departments, finances, marketing. And you can't afford to have borrowings to support your current consumption, because if that happens, then even that company will not last long and will have to perhaps go for liquidation. The government of India cannot go for liquidation because we can just go and borrow as much as we want. In 1 year, 2008-9, we increased the fiscal deficit, which, as the Prime Minister said, is the gap between your earnings and your expenditure, by over 300,000 crore rupees, 3 lakh crore rupees in 1 year. And after that, we have not looked back. And fiscal deficit has been at elevated levels ever since. The RBI recently came out with its periodic monetary policy formulation, and the repo rate was raised by 25 basis points. High inflation will compel the RBI to adopt a high interest rate policy because that is the only instrument which is available to the RBI to moderate inflation. So RBI will do what RBI had to do. In the absence of any supply side measures, effective supply side measures, this in itself is not sufficient either to control inflation or to spur the growth in the economy. So what is happening in our economy? Starting point is high fiscal deficit, and this is what the Prime Minister said. I couldn't agree with him more. That if we run high fiscal deficits, then it will lead to inflation because we are not keeping up with demand in the economy. High inflation will compel RBI to raise interest rates. High interest rates will become a disincentive for investment. So investments will go down further. And if investments decline, then it will have an impact on production. And ultimately, growth rate will suffer, which is the last in this chain. What will also happen, I mean, everything that the Prime Minister said last year has come true. High unemployment, high, as he said, high prices of essential commodities, and then finally, a loss of confidence in the economy, globally and within the country. And it is this crisis of confidence that we are faced with today. A modern economy works on the basis of sentiment. I mean, here we are. We have, on the one hand, a sub 5% growth rate, and we have the stock markets breaking all records. Why? Because the external vulnerability has reduced. What are we celebrating? Are we celebrating reduction in inflation? Are we celebrating high growth rates?
Are we celebrating more employment opportunities? What is it that we are celebrating? We are celebrating the fact that the US Fed has postponed the tapering of the quantitative easing. This is what the markets are celebrating today. And we are creating one record after the other in terms of elevated performance in the market. The Indian economy is today vulnerable both from within as well as from the outside. What is the way out? The way out clearly is to undo the wrong that we have committed. And I did not tell you that when you run high fiscal deficits year after year, then it spills over into the current account deficit. And you tend to run high current account deficits, which has its destabilizing impact on the exchange market. And that's again something that we have witnessed. And what is the way out? The way out is not cutting the plan expenditure by 100,000 crore rupees as we did last year in order to maintain the level, promised level of fiscal deficit, or borrowing money or receiving money from abroad by whatever means in order to reduce our current account deficit. As somebody said, instead of depending on ourselves, we are depending on the charity of strangers. Charity of strangers. We don't know these people, but we are out there asking them to invest in our country when our own corporates are more comfortable investing abroad. It is this crisis of confidence which has to be dealt with. And a person like me, because I'm a conservative, a person like me believes that the starting point has to be the budget of the Government of India and a reduction in expenditure. Not the kind that we did last year. By keeping up the current consumption expenditure and reducing the investment expenditure further, that's not going to help. What we need is drastic expenditure reform in our system. That is something that we tend to avoid because it's the most difficult reform to carry on. So this is the issue. Once you have solved this problem, then other things will fall in line. The other thing in which I believe is the fact that a country like India has to depend on domestic demand. For a long time to come, we can depend on domestic demand because there is a lot of unmet, unsatiated demand in our economy. Because the quality of life remains poor. And therefore, there will be a lot of demand generated year after year in our economy, which will sustain the Indian productive capacity. What are we celebrating? Again, we are happy about. We are happy about the fact that rains, the monsoon has been good this year, and this is going to lead to better rural demand through agricultural growth. And better rural demand will perhaps provide the fillip to industry that we are looking for. So let us, more than markets abroad, let us depend on markets within India. The second is domestic savings, which have again declined from something like 36-37% to around 29-30%. Domestic savings will have to be encouraged. And let me again tell you that it is domestic savings, the savings of people like you and me, which have provided the means for the growth that we witness in our economy. High saving rates have led to high growth rates. So domestic savings will propel the Indian economy, and I am not against foreign investment, either direct or indirect, but this always been a very small part of our total investment. So therefore, again, we can't depend on the charity of strangers. We have to depend on the robust savings of the people of India. Then we have to insulate ourselves from external vulnerabilities. We are today extremely exposed. If the new chairman of the US Fed were to decide to taper the quantitative easing and reduce the purchases from $85 billion to 75 or 70 or whatever, everything will come crashing down in India. Why? Why should we be so exposed to these forces? So therefore, we must take steps to ensure that we are not that badly exposed to external conditions over which we have no control. Then my fourth point is economic reforms are necessary, but economic reforms have always been politically unpopular. And every government has had to struggle with economic reforms. It's never been easy. So how do we make economic reforms more acceptable? By taking care of the livelihood issues and the quality of life issues of our people. This is something which we have not done. I arrived this morning from my constituency for this function. I go there and I hear about small problems. Nobody is concerned about tapering there. The issues are what is going to happen to my road, what is going to happen to drinking water in my village, why is electricity so badly organized, when will my child get employment, will there be a bridge on the river which we have to cross while traveling out of the village. These are the issues. And we have done precious little in many parts of the country to deal with these issues. And it is these issues which make economic reforms unacceptable. They have nothing to do with this super rise in the Bombay Stock Exchange. That is of no concern to them. The concern is the issues of their daily life. This is something which will have to be attended on a very, very priority basis. And in the end, I want to leave a thought with all of you and for the economist on the dais. Do we need high growth rates? Such growth rates as 10%, 12%? Do we want to emulate China in terms of growth rates? The former finance minister of the UPA government, who now adorns the Rashtrapati Bhavan, had said in Lok Sabha one day, when he was challenged about growth rates, and it was said that we are back to the old Hindu rate of growth. He said, what was wrong with the Hindu rate of growth? Were the people of India eating crow? Were we eating crow when we were growing at 3.5%? And were all of us eating biryani when we were going at 10%? So let us enter into this debate. I want the young people here, I want the economists to debate this. Is high growth rate, which is unsustainable, which is bound to collapse after a few years? Is that preferable, or do we want stable growth rate? Stability in our economy, stability in terms of growth rate, stability in terms of prices, stability in terms of employment, stability in terms of markets, stability in terms of supply of goods and services. Would we settle, let's say, for a growth rate of 6.5% or 7%, with all this stability, which in turn will bring security, or we want to go hammer and tongs at 10% growth rate, 9% growth rate, only to come crashing down? Let's debate this point. Whether we need stability in our economy with moderate growth rates, or we can live with instability, vulnerability, insecurity with some high growth rates and some very low growth rates. I am leaving this question for you to ponder, because I haven't thought it through and I don't have yet a fixed opinion on this. What do I have to tell the young people who are leaving the institution today, apart from the fact that it's the most important day of their life? I notice that you have certain very important words mentioned in your booklet. On such occasions, I always formulate my advice to the young people in terms of 4 letters of the English language. And those 4 letters are EECC. What does E stand for? Excellence. Whatever you do, please try and excel in what you're doing. Because if you don't excel, you will always be considered a second-rater. So achieve that excellence in your pursuit. Excel the others, excel in your job. The second is ethics, because without ethics, excellence will be a body without soul. Ethics must play a very important role in your life, and I am not going into the details. There is a big debate going on in this country today about the ethics of the corporate sector. So let's not have any more radia tapes. The first C stands for courage. You must show courage in whatever you are doing, because without courage, you will become very pedestrian. It's only courage which is going to take you places. And courage means the capacity to take risks. And the second C stands for commitment. Excellence, ethics, courage, and commitment. This is my mantra to you for whatever it is worth. Thank you, sir, for inviting me on this very special occasion, the 25th convocation of this great institution. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I'm reminded of a line of Charles Dickens which says, "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times." It is in such challenging times that the possibilities for new leaders to emerge, new entrepreneurs to be created, that are for all of you, dear students. And then the mantra of excellence, ethics, courage, and commitment will take you to any destination that you plan to reach. May I now request Dr. Ajit Ranade and our director and the registrar to kindly initiate the diploma award ceremony. Scholars of the postgraduate diploma in management may please arise when their names are announced by the registrar.
Let the candidates be presented.
Sir, I present to you 93 candidates in person for the postgraduate diploma in management, 2 years full-time course, batch 2013, whose names are set out in the list and will be read out by the registrar. These scholars have been examined and found worthy of the award of the diploma. They may be awarded the said diploma.
I now request all the diploma recipients of postgraduate diploma in management, 2 years full-time, batch 2013, to arise from their seats. I will only take two names, first one and the last one registered. First one registered is Aarti Gopal and last one registered is Mridul Dang. So all of you please arise and please keep standing till the exhortation by the member board of governors is over.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the member of the Board of Governors of the Birla Institute of Management Technology, I admit you to the postgraduate diploma in management, 2 years full-time batch 2013, and charge you to prove worthy of this diploma in your life and works.
The candidates of postgraduate diploma in management may now resume their seats. Scholars of the postgraduate diploma in insurance business management may now please arise when their names are announced by the registrar.
Sir, I present to you 37 candidates in person for the postgraduate diploma in insurance business management, 2 years full-time course batch 2013, whose names are set out in the list and will be read out by the registrar. These scholars have been examined and found worthy of the award of the diploma. They may be awarded the said diploma.
I have in my list of registered candidates the student of PGDM IBM full-time batch 2011-13. First name is Abhishek Singh Parihar and last name registered is Mani Chaturvedi. Please all of you arise from your seats and please keep standing till exhortation by the member board of governors is over.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the member of the Board of Governors of the Birla Institute of Management Technology, I admit you to the postgraduate diploma in management, insurance business, 2 years full-time batch 2013, and charge you to prove worthy of this diploma in your life and works.
The candidates of the postgraduate diploma in insurance business management may now resume their seats. Scholars of postgraduate diploma in retail management may please arise when their names are announced by the registrar.
Sir, I present you 38 candidates in person for the postgraduate diploma in retail management, 2 years full-time course batch 2013, whose names are set out in the list and will be read out by the registrar. These scholars have been examined and found worthy of the award of the diploma. They may be awarded the said diploma.
I have with me a list of 38 students registered. First name is Akansha Mohan and last name being Vimal Kant Singh. All of you are requested to please arise from your seats and keep standing till exhortation by the member Board of Governors is over.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the member of the Board of Governors of the Birla Institute of Management Technology, I admit you to the postgraduate diploma in retail management 2 years full-time batch 2013 and charge you to prove worthy of this diploma in your life and works.
The candidates of postgraduate diploma in retail management may now resume their seats. Scholars of postgraduate diploma in international business may please arise as their names are announced by the registrar.
Sir, I present to you 25 candidates in person for the postgraduate diploma in management in international business, 2 years full-time course batch 2013, whose names are set out in the list and will be read out by the registrar. These scholars have been examined and found worthy of the award of the diploma. They may be awarded the said diploma.
I have with me a list of 25 students registered for obtaining diploma from PGDM International Business full-time 2 year batch 2011-13. First name with me is Abhinav Saini and last name being Tanvi Surendra Kataria. All of you are requested to please arise and please keep standing till exhortation by the member Board of Governors is over.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the member of the Board of Governors of the Birla Institute of Management Technology, I admit you to the postgraduate diploma in management, international business, 2 years full-time batch 2013 and charge you to prove worthy of this diploma in your life and works.
The candidates of postgraduate diploma in international business management may now resume their seats. Scholars of postgraduate diploma in sustainable development practices may please arise when their names are announced by the registrar.
Sir, I present to you 17 candidates in person for the postgraduate diploma in management in sustainable development practice, 2 years full-time course, batch 2013, whose names are set out in the list and will be read out by the registrar. These scholars have been examined and found worthy of the award of the diploma. They may be awarded the said diploma.
I have with me a list of 17 students registered for receiving diploma PGDM IB-STP full-time program batch 2011-13. First name in my list is Anu Bajaj and last name Saurav Bhargav. All of you are requested to please arise from your seats and please keep standing till exhortation by member Board of Governors is over.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the member of the Board of Governors of the Birla Institute of Management Technology, I admit you to the postgraduate diploma in management, sustainable development practices, 2 years full-time batch 2013 and charge you to prove worthy of this diploma in your life and works.
The candidates of the postgraduate diploma in management sustainable development practices may now please resume their seats.
Sir, I request you to admit the candidates who have completed their diploma courses of 2013 successfully but could not attend the convocation to award their diplomas in absentia.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the member of the Board of Governors of the Birla Institute of Management Technology, I admit those students who are qualified but are absent from this function to the postgraduate diploma in management 2 years full-time batch 2013 in absentia and charge them to prove worthy of their diploma in their lives and works.
Sir, I lay down the records pertaining to the candidates who have been conferred their diplomas in this convocation for signature.
Thank you, sir. In 2010, the Birla Institute of Management Technology introduced the Global Management Guru Award. The jury, comprising renowned management professors and practitioners, conferred this award on Dr. Jagdish N. Sheth, a globally recognized professor of marketing at Emory University, USA. Dr. Sheth donated this award money of rupees 5 lakhs to BIMTECH to create 2 scholarships. BIMTECH contributed an additional rupees 5 lakh to make for a total of rupees 10 lakh endowment for Jagdish N. Sheth Award. Out of this endowment, rupees 50,000 are awarded for best PhD thesis and Madhuri J. Sheth Award for rupees 25,000 each goes to female student toppers of PGDM and PGDM IB courses. Could I request our chief guest, Shri Yashwant Sinha, to confer the Madhuri J. Sheth Award to the female toppers of the PGDM and PGDM IB courses, whose names will be read out by the registrar.
I have great pleasure in announcing the names of scholars for Madhuri J. Sheth Award. They should come one by one to receive their certificates and medals at the hands of our chief guest, Shri Yashwant Sinha ji. Madhuri J. Sheth Award to female topper of PGDM 2013 batch, Priyanka Chatterjee. Madhuri J. Sheth Award to female topper of PGDM International Business 2013 batch goes to Samreen Rahman.
I would like to request our chief guest, Shri Yashwant Sinha, to also kindly award medals to students whose names will be read out by the registrar for academic or all-round excellence achieved in various programs during the academic session 2011-13.
I have great pleasure in announcing the names of students with the area of excellence achieved by them. They should come one by one to receive their medals at the hands of our chief guest, Shri Yashwant Sinha ji. BIMTECH Gold Medal for securing first position in academics in the PGDM full-time 2013 program, Kurian J. Panjikaran. BIMTECH Gold Medal for securing first position in academics in PGDM Insurance Business Management Program full-time 2013, Shruti Bhattacharya. BIMTECH Gold Medal for securing first position in academics in PGDM Retail Management full-time 2013, Gokulnath Subramanian. BIMTECH Gold Medal for securing first position in academics in PGDM International Business Program full-time 2013, Rajat Bansal. BIMTECH Gold Medal for securing first position in academics in PGDM Sustainable Development Practices Program full-time 2013, Anu Bajaj. Dr. C.B. Gupta Memorial Medal, instituted in memory of BIMTEC's founder director Dr. C.B. Gupta for all-round best performance among male students of BIMTEC 2013 batch, goes to Raghav Jain, PGDM IBM. Shrimati Yashoda Jaju Memorial Medal, instituted in memory of Shrimati Yashoda Jaju, who was very close to the BIMTEC family, for all-round best performance among female students of BIMTEC 2013 batches, goes to Shruti Bhattacharya of PGDM Insurance Business Management.
Thank you, sir. Dear students of the class of 2013, you now wield something even more powerful than the diploma you have just been awarded. And that's the power of your example. As President Obama in his convocation address this year to the students of Morehouse College said, "It betrays a poverty of ambition if all you think about is what goods you can buy, instead of what good you can do." Taking this thought forward, I would now like to request all scholars who have been conferred their diplomas to please arise to take their pledge of ethical conduct to be administered by the director.
Ladies and gentlemen, taking pledge for ethical conduct, it was a movement started by the students of Harvard Business School, Stanford Business School, and many other leading business schools of the world. Last few years, our students have also requested the management that they would also like to take this pledge. So we are following this practice. Are all of you ready to take this pledge? So I will speak and you will follow me. I solemnly pledge to conduct my business, occupation, social and personal dealings in such a way that it would create value responsibly and ethically so as to contribute to the common good of all stakeholders without causing any harm or damage to the environment and the society at large. Thank you. May God bless you. May I now, silence please. Silence please.
Could I request all of the students to please settle down?
Sit down please. May I now request Dr. Ajit Ranade, Member, Board of Governors, BIMTECH, to announce the conclusion of BIMTECH's Annual Convocation 2013.
I declare the Convocation 2013 concluded.
May I now request our Deputy Director, Dr. Anupam Verma, to please propose a vote of thanks.
Before I propose the vote of thanks, I have a pleasant duty to perform. May I request Shri Vikash Kandoi to please present a small memento to our chief guest, Shri Yashwant Sinha ji, as a token of our respect and gratitude to him. Honorable Chief Guest, Shri Yashwant Sinha, Dr. Ajit Ranade, Shri Vikash Kandoi, Dr. Harivansh Chaturvedi, Professor Sahai, Professor Arora, distinguished guests, diploma recipients, parents, alumni, representatives of media, fellow faculty members, officials and students. As we come to an end of this ceremony, it is my privilege to extend a vote of thanks to everyone who has made the event a great success. We are indeed very fortunate and privileged to have amongst us here today Shri Yashwant Sinha ji, a distinguished politician known for his forthright views, a thought leader, a scholar, and an administrator par excellence as the chief guest. During his distinguished and checkered career, he has proven himself to be a man of action and enormous achievements. As Shri Vikash Kandoi ji has mentioned in the welcome address, there can be no better role model than him for young minds who have just started their journey in the corporate world. In his address today, he has so incisively analyzed past and current state of Indian economy and has identified the reasons why the economy is not looking up. He has also suggested the possible ways out, like drastic expenditure reforms. He talked about the importance of domestic demand, domestic savings, insulation from external vulnerability, economic reforms, that is like livelihood issues and quality of life issues. He mentioned about the importance of stability in terms of growth rate, prices, employment, which is all the more important. I hope the students have noted the mantra for success that he has given today. That is the 4 letters of English words, that is EECC, that is excellence in every sphere, ethics, courage, in whatever you are doing, and commitment. His address today has not only been enlightening in so many aspects, but has also given valuable tips for success route to the diploma awardees. His visualization of the challenges, constraints, or opportunities and the need to address them must have been noted by the passing out students. His words of wisdom and inspiration today will go a long way to be a beacon light not only to diploma recipients but to all his students and others. By bestowing the favor of coming here today and addressing the students, he has made all of us at BIMTECH proud. On behalf of the Institute and the Board of Governors, I deem it a unique honor to convey our gratitude and sincere thanks to you, sir. We always seek and receive guidance and suggestions from Shri Vikash Kandoi, a senior member of our Board of Governors, for any developmental issues connected with the Institute. In fact, he and Srimati Jayashree Mohta, chairperson of our Board of Governors, have been instrumental in the phenomenal progress made by the Institute in the recent past. Indeed, under their continued guidance, BIMTECH will grow further to greater heights. I express our sincere gratitude and thanks to Shri Vikash Kandoi for gracing this occasion with his motivating presence in the function here today. Dr. Ajit Ranade, a senior and an active member of our Board of Governors, is a well-known economist in the country. His contribution by way of very constructive and workable suggestions help us greatly in institution building. He has given us a very thought-provoking and inspiring address to the students. He mentioned about the compass that you have gained out of your education from BIMTECH. This will show you the way whenever you need it. He reminded about the Vivekananda's teachings, Swami Vivekananda teachings, that is, arise, awake, and stop not till your goal is achieved. And indeed, the Steve Jobs quotation of stay hungry, stay foolish, to be seen in the current context, that is, you should stay hungry for success grounded in values, exactly what the BIMTECH stands for. I hope that his suggestions to the diploma recipients have been carefully noted by them. His presence here today is a great honor and motivating factor for us. I am very happy to convey our grateful thanks and gratitude to him for his kindly gracing this occasion today. I must convey our appreciation to diploma recipients. They will now be moving to various directions in corporate life. Today's ceremony is a momentous occasion to be remembered for a lifetime. A milestone has been achieved in their lives. It seems like overnight, young men and women have become responsible for their futures. After closing one door, countless doors have opened for them. They will propagate the BIMTECH fragrance everywhere. They leave this place today with a duty to uphold the good name of their alma mater. We congratulate them and wish them the best of luck and extend them our blessings. We are indeed happy to see many guests amongst our midst today. I want to convey our gratitude and thanks to them for having accepted our invitation to attend this function. Parents of diploma recipients have a special place in such function. Receipt of diploma by the awards is a matter of joy, fulfillment, and pride for every parent. My special word of thanks to parents and others who gave all-round support to our students throughout their studies. Please allow me to express sincere gratitude to all representatives of the media present here for coming and covering our function. Ladies and gentlemen, an event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels started rolling weeks ago. It required planning and a bird's eye for details. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues led by our director, who have been working tirelessly and have left no stone unturned in looking into minutest details towards making suitable arrangements for the success of this convocation function. I take this opportunity to convey sincere thanks to the faculty, officials, and staff of BIMTECH. Last but not the least, like always, students have served as the major organizers and have played a great role in performing whatever job has been assigned to them. I want to convey our thanks and appreciation for their efforts and hard work. Let me conclude by saying that, as mentioned by our director in his annual report, we will continue to build on the solid foundation to further raise our achievements in the coming year. We thank you all for being with us this evening and for all the attention. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We shall now end today's program by rendering the national anthem. Could I request all present to please rise for the national anthem?
Jana
गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाए तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
I would request all present in the audience to please remain standing as the academic procession will now be leaving the venue.